There's two things that you need to get right when you take a video or a photo, and that's exposure and white balance. You see, you can have a really bad time in post-production trying to fix your image because you've got the exposure wrong. Please bear in mind, in video, this is way harder to do than it is in photo, so we're best to just get it right in camera and have it look nice like this. By the end of this video, you are going to be an absolute master in every situation for exposure and white balance. This is an 18% grey card, and this is how you're going to set your exposure. This is a white card, and this is how you're going to set your white balance. See, the way that you use this is that you hold it in front of the camera and then you dial in your settings accordingly to how well this is lit. Now, when you point your camera at this, you want to make sure that your meter bar is in the middle. That means you're perfectly exposed. There's one other thing that you've got to get right, and that's where you hold the card. You see, if I hold the card here and I expose for here, I'm going to get my exposure completely wrong for where I'm sat because I'm not lighting this part of the room. If your camera is trying to judge everything in the scene and you hold this tiny card in the middle, it's not going to recognize it. So you need to change your camera's metering mode to spot metering so that it only meters what's in that little square on the screen. But what about the white card? You see, using a manual white balance will make all of your footage and photos consistent and make your work look more professional. Don't get caught out by this because this is a very simple mistake to make. So when it comes to your white card, you need to be making sure that your card is always white in camera, regardless of whether or not it's really blue in the room or regardless of whether or not it's really warm. Setting your white balance to the white card will always make sure that all your colours are accurate. Say if this card was reflecting more blue, you would adjust your camera so that it would turn a little bit more warm. If it was warm, you would turn it blue. You always move in the opposite direction of whatever colour this card is. This way, you get the most consistently natural colours. Now I've delivered you that knowledge nugget, you are now ready for Lightroom. Now if you want to know the full ins and outs made simple of Lightroom, you can watch that video here. Civvy.